Hello, hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Friday, we've got a few people here. Thanks for joining us. Today's recipe, I'll let you know the recipe, and then oh, thanks, Dean. I will note that and turn down the volume for next time. Hopefully you can hear me okay. We're gonna make an easy pasta recipe. It's Friday, keeping things simple today, but we'll get into it. So welcome, Dean. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching all the advertising ahead of time. It's perfect. We've got Lois is here. Hey, Lois, welcome back again. Happy Friday to everybody. And Nadia's here. Oh, no one likes the music, so we'll maybe choose a new. I guess if the consensus is a new music, we'll try the new music, or maybe just tone it down a little bit. Pam's here. Perfect timing, Pam. Long time no see. Easy pasta today. I've got on the back oven. I've got the water boiling already for the pasta. We're gonna cook up some linguine for dinner, and it's with basically fresh herbs and olive oil and some garlic. So the reason we're doing this one is Pam has a garden, and she was kind enough when we met today to bring over some from her garden. There's some nice here. We'll give you a show here. We've got some nice. This is like fresh parsley from the garden. And we're going to chop that up in the pasta. And then this is great. This is fresh basil. So we've got some fresh basil leaves for the pasta. Smells really good. And then we're going to add some garlic into that. This is similar to one we've done before on the channel, like an easy. And then we've got some lemon zest on there, cracked pepper, and then a few tomatoes we'll toss up in there as well. So we'll go through it. But this is like a soup. Because this is such an easy recipe. We can chit chat and let it's not a lot of stress to get this one done. So I've got some I don't know. It's like a non-alcohol wine that I'm enjoying here, and having that. So Lois, yeah, we do have herbs on the deck. We had some. We did have some basil, but we used it all. So, and it didn't really come back. So we have to kind of get some more. And there's obviously, you probably know that Jason's cooking, or not cooking, baking, cooking. I got cooking, baking on my head. Trying to grow peppers, like hot peppers. So we've got some peppers that are growing. They're not obviously ready yet, but hopefully we'll have some recipes for those once they go. Basil, yeah. So we'll get it. Let's kind of get it ready. The water still has to come up to boil. So we're going to cut up the ingredients here first. So what I want to do is the tomatoes. I'm just gonna actually, these are like the nice cherry tomatoes. I'm actually just gonna throw these in whole and saute them off in there. They'll be good like that, nice and sweet. And partly too because I don't necessarily like them as much. They're easier for me to pick out when they're whole. So the parsley, I've already washed it all. What we're gonna do is we'll just chop this up. The parsley I'm gonna chop. So go through. So what else is it? Hey Stephanie, welcome. I'm just gonna chop this all up. This will be for the garnish on top. So I'm having a little bit of red wine. What's everybody else's glass tonight? Susan, water still? I had a lot of water today. We went to the park out here and sat with a few friends, and had a ton of water. So we're gonna give this a nice chop. Fresh parsley. Toss in the pasta after. This is such an easy recipe. Perfect for Friday. Let me tell you. Go. And I guess Susan, yeah, a good eye. So Susan is having talk about the new mic. Yes, so you can probably notice on my cutting board there's a new mic. Last time, for people that were, most of everybody's here was watching last time, the microphone I dropped in water before the live stream, so I had to track down a new microphone, and I did. So hopefully it sounds okay. So the basil as well, right? We roll it up, and then we'll just a nice thin, like chiffonade slice is what this is called. We'll try and get that as fine as possible. So thanks so much for the fresh herbs, Pam. They're going to come in nice and handy. There we go. That'll break apart. So that's going to be nice for the pasta. Do the next one. So like we did it, we just kind of roll the leaves up. Makes it easier to cut. And that's a good question, Lois. Hold on here, I'll post that on the screen. So good question. Why do you prefer plastic, board versus wood or bamboo? So I guess I don't think I've ever explained the idea behind the plastic. So green, this cutting board, green, is for food that we will eat and just keep it for raw. And then I have another cutting board that's the white, like you probably saw the white one. So if I'm ever cutting anything raw, it will do and go on this one. And that's kind of the idea behind the two colors. You'll actually sometimes see sets of cutting boards where there's like there'll be different colors. So red would be for like red meat, green would be for vegetables, and then the white one or like a different color for raw. The white is good because it kind of just reminds you that you can bleach it. So if you have to really give it washed after you cut something raw, it's perfect for that. And you can also put I'm not sure about the wood cutting boards, Lois, you really want to wash more by hand in water because sometimes they will warp. Not so much the bamboo ones, but some of the actual wood ones. So they take a bit more care. Where the plastic ones, you can fire them in the dishwasher. They're pretty forgiving. As long as they're not too thin. Sometimes the thinner plastic cutting boards will warp if they get too hot, like they get heated, and then they kind of get a bow in them, so they don't sit flat. So that's it. And exactly. So chicken, yeah. So like raw chicken or raw fish on there, that kind of stuff. Anything that's has to be cooked, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Yeah. Where the veggies, you don't have to, that way, if there's any, it just eliminates like any kind of potential of the cross-contamination of it. Comes back from my hotel days, I guess. And I better say hi because I saw my mom. Mom says hi. Hi, Mom. Welcome. I forgot last time. A few cloves of garlic. This one we're going to slice thin too. Try and get this as thin, kind of as thin as you can. I'll do one and I'll show you. You could also use the crush if you wanted to, but I kind of like the nice pieces in there that we're going to saute off. But you need to kind of try and get it as thin as possible. Not like paper thin, but definitely thin pieces here. I'll cut the last one and I'll show you. You could also do this if you had if you were careful with your fingers, if you had it on like the mandolin, which I have and I still haven't used yet. So we'll have to get that out for one recipe. So little wafers of garlic, and we'll put that on there. So we'll have everything just kind of ready to go on the side here with our tomatoes. There we are. And yes, the microphone accidentally dropped into a sink full of water. There's our pasta water boiling. Speaking of water, just turn that down for a sec as we get ready here. Yeah, so that was dropped. Didn't work. I have to get a little. This is the new microphone, so it clips on. I can attach the little microphone onto a microphone later. And no Marmite in this recipe. Well, this would be kind of a good one to mix Marmite in, Christine, because the garlic would mask hopefully the flavor, and the garlic and the nice basil. And oh, my camera's off center. What one is off center? Me, you? Maybe I'm Am I standing out of the way? I think I'm standing out of the way when I'm chopping. That's probably what it is. I had the camera out at the park, so we just got home not long ago. So I'm setting it up before the show. So I'll try and stand in the center there for you as we go. But if I'm over by if I move the cutting board over, we're good. But we're done. We're done actually cutting for this recipe for the most part. So that's always good. So let's put the pasta in. Water's boiling. Oh, hey, Ando, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and Mike's here. Mike's tuning in a little bit late, but that's okay. How are you, Mike? What's for dinner tonight with you? I guess I should ask everybody what's for dinner. I didn't think I asked that. I asked what was in your cup, but not in. So linguine tonight. This would also be good with any pasta. You could do it with penne, fusilli, kind of anything. Oh, it's cutting off my face. If I'm too far up, I think it cuts off. Yeah. So I'll stand back a little bit. I'm used to still being tethered with my microphone. So let's give this a stir to make sure it gets all in the water. Now I like for this recipe, I like cooking like linguine or spaghetti because it cooks faster, so we can eat faster. Not that I don't like showing you how to cook, but on Friday I'm hungry. And Tammy's here. Hey Tammy, welcome. All right, let's get this going here. Let's move this because we're going to do our saute when it's ready. So this is super easy one. Oh, thanks, Undell. That's so appreciated. I hope it did. There we go. Let's do. Look at that. The late one. It worked. That's the super chat. The super chat light. I have to figure out a sound effect for that. To trigger that. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. It's appreciated. You don't. And good question. My favorite pasta. You know what? I think my favorite, Christine, is I like penne or like fusilli pasta. Penne is probably my favorite. I do like pasta that's kind of easier to eat with a fork and not as messy. This recipe though is good with linguine because you know how it gets all splattery when you're trying to eat sometimes the long pasta. This one is good because it's not like a tomato-based sauce, and just with olive oil and some vegetables, it's not as messy. So I don't mind it with that one. Yeah. Rice is having rice, corn, green beans. Oh, that sounds okay. That sounds okay. And yeah, I will figure out. Christine will figure out some sound effects. There is a way to do it. I just want to make sure I find the right one. Yeah. And there was, I think, another question. Sorry, I think I saw one more question. And I don't know about the dancing. So snap peas, yes. That was what I saw here. This is a great recipe if you have kind of stuff left over in the fridge from during the week. So if you had like vegetables to use up, by all means, add them to this. I'm keeping this pretty simple because I really like the basil, Pam. But you can add, I mean, anything. You've got a bit of broccoli. You could add some cauliflower if you have it in there. Even if you have some leftover, like say you had some chicken left over to cut up that's already cooked. Chop that up at the last minute. Anything, beans. Yeah, kind of the sky's kind of the limit. Snap peas. There's I know what you mean. The little the little sugar peas, the little thin ones. Those would be really nice. You could actually slice them quite thin, and put them in there. And yeah, not Nadia doesn't like broccoli. I like broccoli. I would have broccoli in this. Even some peppers, red peppers, if you have it in the fridge, would be nice. Green peppers, yellow peppers. Pretty straightforward. And the best thing is this is always, once this is kind of cooked, we'll take it off and we'll just kind of let it sit for a minute. Then we'll saute off the veggie mix. One thing I did forget, we always have, which is a staple on the channel, is a little bit of chili flakes. I'm going to toss in there in the end, just a few, give it a little bit of a bite, not too much. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, broccoli. Yeah, you do like broccoli. I'm the one that bugs you about broccoli. Broccoli and curry, I don't think goes. That's all. Butter chicken and broccoli is not very good. You don't like pineapple, but I love pineapple. Olive oil. There we go. That usually takes about like 8 minutes or so. And there we go. Broccoli. Let's heat up. Let's heat up the pan. Get it ready. Oh, nice. So a pizza dough recipe. Yeah, that was. Let me know how it turns out for you. That'd be good. Are you actually, no, Christine? Are you actually making it as we speak here? Are you listening and making it at the same time, or do you have it already made and it's already proofing? I'm gonna have pizza this weekend. That reminds me, because I made some extra. Like obviously the batch makes enough for like 4 little pizzas, and I got some in the freezer. I know the song and dance. I have to get some no sound effects. This is almost ready. So what I like to do is save a little bit of the, I gotta get my measuring cup, but from the pasta water, before you drain all the pasta water off, just take a little bit with a measuring cup, just to keep some on the side, because sometimes the sauce, like as we're making this, there's no sauce. There's no sauce for this really, other than a little bit of olive oil, the vegetables topped up. So sometimes it needs a bit of liquid, and you can put a little bit of the pasta water in it as well. So it kind of gets some of the flavor of the pasta. So okay, perfect. So it's this resting, proofing. Let me try this pasta. Almost ready. Yeah. There you go. Good call. Some sliced prosciutto would be nice. Tossed in at the end. That would be really good actually. At the very end, we're gonna grate on some Parmesan cheese after as well. But yeah, that would be nice. Trying to think what else. You could also too. I mean, this is going to have no. I mean, we're going to have the cheese in it, so it'll have a bit of dairy. But you could also finish it with some little bit of cream in there too. Would be nice. But I kind of like the simplicity of it. So, a little bit of olive oil, not too much. This is kind of the base for the sauce, but you still don't. I mean, it's going to look like a fair bit, but we're going to toss that all in the pasta, so it's not going to be too oily. Just put the garlic in. Don't put the herbs in yet, okay? The herbs are going to be in really at the very last minute as we toss it into the pasta. And this is going to start smelling really good. The garlic is almost going to get a little bit crispy. And there is chili flakes. They will go in at the end. Yes. And no, I didn't make any garlic, no toast or garlic bread today. Just this. Just be careful when you're putting the tomatoes in that you're not splashing the oil. And the tomatoes were basically just warming. We don't want them super mushy. Pasta is, let's taste this. Pasta is done. So, pasta off the stove. Let it drain. And the pasta back. There we go. Back in the bowl. And what I'm going to do is with that pasta, put in just a little bit of olive oil, maybe like just a teaspoon or two, and give it a stir. That way it won't stick together while it's kind of sitting for a minute as we finish our other sauce. So this is basically ready. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I've got my lemon. A little bit of lemon zest on top there. We'll put some more on the pasta as well. A few chili flakes. This is of course optional. And cracked pepper. And we just want the tomatoes to cook now. You can probably see the garlic kind of gets a little bit crispy. And thanks, Susan. Yeah, don't forget the thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. Smash that like button. Yeah. And yes, for sure. If you wanted to have to, I think you might have missed the beginning maybe a bit, but I leave the tomatoes whole because they're gonna kind of break down a little bit, and they'll be warmed up. But I don't like them in my pasta, and they're easier for me to pick out. But Jason likes tomatoes, so he has the tomatoes. So we're basically kind of ready here. This was a real fast one, like dinner in half an hour. And welcome, Alpine Gulch, welcome. This is ready. So, easiest way to do this, I find, is just you're basically switching pots. Put that in with the pasta. Get all that out there. Give it a mix. So you see how I don't like the tomatoes. It's easy to get rid of. So the heat's still on. It's still going to cook a little bit. Let's add our herbs. That's the parsley and the basil. Add it all. You want to add fresh herbs at the very end of your cooking because they don't take long to break down. So it's basically, once they're in there, they're ready to go. You don't want to have them sit for too long because they will start to lose the vibrance of the flavor. Okay, there we go. A little bit more lemon. Oh, telephone guy's here. Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming by. We're actually almost finished. You came just in time. Some lemon zest. With the microplane, some cracked pepper. And that's basically dinner already done. So that was a fast one. As you can see, like I know Pam was asking about the tomatoes, but like they almost kind of, some of them they'll break in half as you kind of get a little bit squished. There we go. So that I think was one of our fastest dinners. But it smells really good. We're gonna get it onto a bowl. I'm gonna eat some and let you know how it tastes. And here we go. It's oatmeal. Don't like the Instant Pot. Oh, so Nadia's not used to the Instant Pot. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I gotta just scroll down here. And there is cheese gonna go on. So, Christine, good point. We have Parmesan cheese we're gonna grate on top. So let's get this into a, we'll get this little bit into a bowl so you can see. So we'll use the microplane for the cheese. So nice pasta, very fresh, good for summer. This one, I'll take a couple of tomatoes. Like so. And some grated Parmesan cheese on top. And I do like pepper. And let's give a, here, we'll give a close up. There we go. That's the, that's our simple, that's our, so no movies. Maybe Netflix, Netflix, Dean. But yeah, so super simple. I think that's like a new record, half an hour. Looks pretty, actually looks pretty good. Yeah. So I'll give some a try. But great tips here. Yeah, so I think everybody's learning things here. White truffle oil on top. Yes, you could drizzle that on there. That would be nice for sure. Yeah, sky's the limit with this one. I say truffle oil. I'll have to try and find. Now I didn't need the water, but I'm gonna put a little bit in there just so it kind of stays a little bit hydrated because Jason's not out here yet to eat. He must have started a show and has seen something. But it's like super simple, right? If we look, like super simple, one pot with the meal. So that's gonna be great. And lots there, so we can always have a lot. And let's get a fork and give this a try. This would also be good. You could have some if you had olives on there, maybe some Kalamata olives on top. I should look for some truffle oil. So good point for everybody on that. Smells good. The smell is nice with the with that lemon zest, the lemon, the garlic, and the basil. It's just good by itself. This one's a perfect one for summer because it's light. So perfect for sitting on the patio. Good flavors. Super simple. Doesn't have to. You don't have to heat up the whole oven in the house. I like simple pastas like this. Is the best. And hell, welcome, Norman. You came right at the very end. We're having like an easy, simple pasta dish. All of the ingredients for this one are down in the description if anybody wants to take a look. So by all means, come back and you can follow along. But again, you probably almost don't even need to check the ingredient list. It's pretty basic. But you want to make this one, you want to make sure you're using the fresh herbs. You don't want to use the dry. It's not even going to be close to what this tastes like by using dried herbs. So make sure you make this something like this simple with just an olive oil and garlic with a sauce. You want to make sure you have fresh herbs for sure. But that's it. So thanks to everybody for coming for Friday. I'm going to plate up some more here for me, and then I'll plate up some for Jason. We're going to eat. Again, thanks for joining. For everybody, good tips on the truffle oil. I'm gonna add that to the shopping list to see if I can pick it up. But that's it. thanks everybody for joining me this week on a Friday, and we'll sign off. And if you do try the recipe, make sure you come back and leave a comment on the video. And before you go, obviously, I always appreciate everybody that's subscribed, everybody that has hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't already, just before you go, hit the thumbs up, and then we'll catch you back on Monday for the next live stream. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.